Hi guys, we've heard a lot from Tory MPs, be them backbenchers or even frontbenchers, on the issue of asylum. We've heard from gobs on sticks talking about invasions and gangs and criminality. I've been critical of the BBC in the past, but kudos to them for interviewing the Albanian president Rama and getting his perspective on what's actually going on. He spoke frankly about the root of the problem, politicians blaming others while they refuse to take responsibility for their own failings. Have a listen to what he had to say.
Well, this evening I spoke to the Prime Minister of Albania, Rama. Why did he want to speak out?
I thought it came a point where it was impossible to not react, because it was really an embarrassment for our civilization to hear all kind of crazy words being thrown in the air like normality. And invasion was the peak.
Why do you think the British Home Secretary is using words like invasion?
It's not about one person. It's about climate that has been created. And it's about finding scapegoats and blaming others, while it's very obvious, even from Tirana, which is not near to London, that it's about failed policies. It's not about Albanians or aliens or gangsters, but it's about failed policies on borders and on crime.
Right, so what do you think they should do? What do you think they could do?
It's not that I think. There are examples, and there is a very, very clear example of Germany. With Germany, we had the same problems some years ago, and Germany moved in the right direction. Germany never blamed Albanians and never came out saying, German politicians never came out saying, oh, we are being invaded and so on and so further, but they legislated about Albania being a safe origin country.
What do you think the consequences of that might be for Albanians settled in the UK?
Consequences of course, you know, this kind of language for sure doesn't come for good. It doesn't. This kind of language is not a policy, is not a program, is not a vision, is nothing but fueling xenophobia and targeting, singling out community, and practically going totally against the great British tradition of integrating the minorities. Britain was a role model in this, and now is becoming like I don't know, like a madhouse.
Like a madhouse, because the lunatics are now in charge. And he made some very valid points here that the UK used to be a role model. Other countries looked to Britain and how it integrated different minorities and had them live side by side in peace, relative peace, in respect to other parts of the world. What has happened? Why have things gone downhill so quickly? He was correct when he said it was about covering for failed policies. You know, countries around the world are looking at what's happening here, and they can understand that the UK government is not interested in fixing this. It's more interested in pointing the finger. And you can see this in almost every policy. When the mini budget was released and the markets reacted, the first response was to blame someone else but never point the finger at themselves. This is part and parcel of this Conservative Party. It's always find someone else to blame. When it came to Brexit, well, it's the EU's fault, it's Ireland's fault, it's Remainers' fault, it's judges' fault, it's everyone else's fault but ourselves. We never point the finger at ourselves. So when it comes to these failed policies, they'll say the system is broken, but they never say we actually broke the system. When it comes to the overcrowding, well, it's the problem is the people coming in. Not that we don't actually have facilities available to deal with them, or we don't have the staff available to process these claims. And I said before, they don't want to fix this problem because then it takes it away. It takes away a tool they can use to convince the headbangers in society to vote for them. It's a bargaining chip, or it's a voting chip that they can use. Every general election, towards the general election, pull out the immigration card, say, look, don't vote for Labour because they believe in open borders. They want to just let everyone come in. Vote for us because we're going to be hard. We're going to come down hard like a ton of bricks on these immigrants. We're going to block them from coming into the country. We're going to send these boats back. And the rhetoric just gets more and more extreme. The use of invasion by a Home Secretary in the House of Commons. I don't think it has happened before. I think this is new territory. We have to go back to maybe the 1960s or the 1970s to hear language like that used in the House of Commons. We thought those days were behind us. We thought, a new Europe, and I'm not talking about the European Union here, I'm just talking about a progressive Europe moving forward, moving away from the dark times, not moving back towards them. And what he said here about Germany, this is adult politicians saying, okay, we have an issue, how do we resolve it? The problem with the Conservatives and this branch of Conservatives is that they don't want to resolve these problems. They're not interested in fixing mistakes. They're not interested in cooperating with others. It's all about blaming. Because it takes away the work that needs to be done. They don't actually have to do anything. They're lazy. I think this is part of it as well. Look at Boris Johnson, the laziest politician in the House of Commons probably. And the Conservative policies are lazy as well, it seems. When it came to the trade deals, they didn't want to put in the hard work. They just rolled over and accepted whatever was offered to them. What was it? Britannia Unchained, talking about how the British workers were the laziest in the world. It's not the British workers that are lazy, it's the bloody politicians that are lazy. But I'm getting a bit sidetracked here. This is about stoking resentment towards the other. It used to be single mothers, it used to be migrants in general, now it's Albanians. And it's dangerous, as we've seen before. This rhetoric comes with a price. And the price was paid a few days ago. It could get much worse than that. And these politicians, frankly, don't care. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.